Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have I'm Sean Pittman backwards, aka me versus Soro20, and this is going to be another new format video, and we will go ahead and hop right in, and I will decide to go first. 60 versus 60, oh god, yes. And yeah, right here I said 60 card, mirror, scary. But my opening hands: Thrust, Foolish Burial Goods, Foolish Burial, Walls of the Imperial Tomb, and Rhino Heart. They have Engraver, Tearcast, Sharon, Scream, and Trivy Karma. So my opponent's hand is fine. But when you're playing like these 60 card mirrors of just like, 60 good cards slamming at each other, you'd hope for more bomb cards. Then I'm going to activate Foolish Burial Goods, dump the Rainbow Bridge, and then I activate the Rainbow Bridge. Go ahead, search out the Turtle and Pressured Planet, and then activate Pressured Planet, grab out Fenrir effect, grab out Tearlament, cast Tira. I'm not worried about getting access to the Tear field spell right now. I'd rather have the Fenrir. I think that I can potentially get access to the Tear field spell later on in the turn anyways, by milling like a Trivy Karma. But now I'll go ahead, activate Walls, and then Walls effect, grab out the Mseti, put back the Thrust, because I didn't think it was going to be live. I wasn't I wasn't sure exactly what my opponent was playing either. Now I go Mseti, discard itself plus Turtle, grab out King Sark, draw on the Keldo, activate King Sark, summon out Mseti, King Sark, discard Keldo. That was a really good draw off the Mseti, by the way, because I was going to discard basically whatever I drew. So, like, this, Black Goat Laughs, like, there was a bunch of good Soul Scissors. So go ahead, dump Happy, summon Happy, make Zombie Vampire, and now I was like, alright, let's see the goo. I want to see what you're playing. And I mill Mseti, Soul Scissors, Engraver, and Left Arm Offering. Soul Scissors, a lot of people don't even know what this card does, but it says if a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or a card effect and sent to the graveyard while this card is in my graveyard, you can summon it but banish it when it leaves the field. Then if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one monster the opponent controls and destroy it. So it's a good card to have engrave. So I look at the mills, I'm just going to take their tier cash, stops them from milling too, and allows me to mill. So that's like obviously what I'm taking here, and then I go new Chain Link, Tearlament, Kashtira 1, they go Solic 2, so they get to search out Haveness for free, and then I mill Haveness, Engraver, and then I activate my Haveness effect, put back Haveness plus some Mseti, and then bring out the Mud Dragon from the extra deck. Just basically just give me an extra body there. That's all Mud Dragon did. Engraver, shuffle back, summon out Engraver, and then I turn Engraver in the Requiem, and then Requiem effect, Tribute to Go special, Chain Haveness, okay, and then they mill nothing there, and now I have my Fenrir, so new Chain Link, Lacrima 1, Fenrir 2, banish Haveness face down, go ahead, dump Engraver, and just like banishing Haveness is nice. It's not broken, because it's not like they're going through infinite tier names a turn, but it is nice to have that banish face down. So I dump the Engraver, I link off, I summon out Sequence, and then they have Tier Cash. So they activate Tier Cash, trying to go ahead and hit something off of this, like a Shuffler, but they actually mill nothing. They mill another Solic, so no Solic Search, because they already used it this turn. And then I go Sequence effect, put back double Engraver, leaving the Lacrima Requiem engraved, so that way I have access to the trap card on my opponent's turn for an extra interruption. Because I also know that they're playing Fiendsmith. Like, I know the deck they're playing, and I assume that the build that they're playing is probably, like, my old build, because, like, this deck wasn't really played at all. Like, you didn't see this deck on DB at all, like, a week ago, and then all of a sudden, like, I streamed with this deck, like, me and Josh Kipp did, and then, some people tried it out, because, like, it's a really fun deck. And it's honestly a pretty decent deck now that Dweller's Bane and Shifter's at 1. Like, those were, like, the biggest problems of the deck, was literally those two cards, and they just, like, slammed them out of the game, and it's like, okay, now this deck loses its biggest problems. But yeah, I just assume that they're on, like, my older list, so I know that, like, I can have Paradise set up, and it should be really good. Even against, like, the newer list, Paradise is really good, but I know, I should know, like, pretty much what my opponent's playing. Bring out Aerial Eater effect, go ahead, dump the Shyama. At this point, I wasn't sure if I should have dumped Shyama or if I should have dumped Shadow Hollow, because if I dump Hollow, that means I can end on Winda, but if I dump Shyama, that means I get to dump Scream and search Solik. So it's like, I kind of had to like pick and choose at that point. Like, did I want to attempt to go for Winda? Do I want my Kaleido set up with Trap? But I dumped Shyama. And also, like, Hollow would have milled cards too. Like, it didn't have to be just Winda, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attributes on field. I could have went Aerial Eater effect, dump effect, mill 5. That's literally Kikala's Graveyard effect. Just mill 5 for fun. And I chose not to do that. Like, maybe I should have. Maybe I hit Scream. Maybe I hit Solik off of it. Maybe I hit Black Oat Laughs. Maybe I hit a Shuffler. Like, there's so many good cards I could have hit. Trivy Karma to get the Tier Field spell set up. I go in the SP Banish Tier Cache, because at this point I also just need to clear up space on my field. Because I have too many bodies. I go Rhino, dump Sharon effect, go ahead, put back itself, Mud Dragon, bring out Dragos to Paleo, and then I link off to go ahead and summon out Moon, just because I needed the extra space on my field, so then I can make Moon in the sprint, and then sprint dump Murley, and then Murley put back itself, Rhino, and Turtle, which is also why I think you have to play Turtle. Like, you don't have a choice. You have to play Rainbow Bridge, because it's the only way to make it to where you can, like, consistently get to Kaleido Heart, and you want to be able to consistently get to this card. Shyama, pop Kaleido, go ahead, dump Scream, add Solik. I have Foolish Burial, which can allow me to dump the other Shuffler, which is really good in the mirror, and then set the Solik and pass. So I have Kaldo, Medora, Soul Scissors, Lacrima, and the Requiem for, like, graveyard effects that can come up this turn. So I have 4 graveyard effects. I have Fenrir, Kaleido Heart, Dragos to Paleo, SP, Solik on field. I also have Tier Cache that can let me mill 3. So they draw into Mali, and then they're going to go activate Engraver, discard, grab out Tract, and then activate Tract to go ahead and search Lacrima, and then discard Trivy Karma, and then Trivy Karma effect, banish, go search, grab out the Tier Planet, and then activate Tier Planet, so that's going to grab out the Tearlament Kashtira from the deck to the hand, activate Engraver, shuffle back Engraver to special summon out, and then on that effect, I'm pretty sure I go ahead and chain a Shuffler here, because I didn't want to have to use any of these interruptions on the Engraver, and I also know that, like, they have Lacrima in hand, which is fine, but if they already go through Engraver effect, it's not like Lacrima really matters that much. Lacrima can dump Paradise, and then they can hope that they can later mill, like, a Light Fiend, so that way Paradise is alive. So they go normal Lacrima effect, chain SP, banish, and then they go ahead and dump just the Fiendsmith and Paradise. That's fine. And then Sharon effect, summon out, discard Mali, mill 3, and then they mill Rhino, Solik, and Mseti. So new chain link, they will go ahead and activate Rhino 1, Solik 2, and then that's fine. So go ahead and search out a Rhino Heart, and then discard Rhino Heart, which this isn't exactly what I was expecting. But I guess it makes sense because they have Havness banished, so they can't add and discard that, and then do like Havness 1, Rhino 2. Okay, here they summon out the Rhino, and then they go Rhino effect to go dump. And I was thinking about stopping this, but I was thinking that I could let this go, and then I have Fenrir to banish field spell after they summon out. And, like, I could just, like, let him get some of these extra bodies. Like, also, these extra bodies don't really do anything, because we already went through Fiendsmith package. All they have is, like, Moon and the Requiem into Engraver, and then they make Sequence, and then Sequence I can just stop. But they do have Mali engraved, but I'm going to end up shuffling that. Yeah. And, like, if I let this resolve, then I could just, like, shuffler them. They can get Planet Pop, but Planet Pop's fine. Like, the only Planet Pop that, like, doesn't feel the greatest is if you pop my Solik. But then I still just, like, Solik Search. I don't care if they pop any of my monsters. So I put back Murley, Mali, and Paradise into their deck. And then new chain link. They're going to go planet, target Dragos to Paleo, and then here I'm able to just go ahead and I go chain Fenrir, target Sharon, chain Dragos to Paleo just for fun. And then Soul Scissors will special summon out, and then Soul Scissors effect to pop Rhino. So just take as many bodies as I can off the board. I know they have Tear Cash in hand, and I can Solic negate that. Then they go activate Scream, activate Tear Cash, and then I chain Lacrima, summon Requiem. Sure, I don't even have to do that there. But they're about to mill 3, so I'm going to do it on the next play anyways. So go ahead, bring out, and then... because I probably should have done this before to try to play around them hitting a shuffler. I remember thinking that. I think it was like the Sharon hand effect is when I had an open space on field, and that's probably when I should have chained it. But now they're going to go Tear Cash, Scream, and then I go chain Solic, they mill 3, and then it was like, hold up, you did not shuffle the deck? Yeah, because that would have been crazy. They milled the 3 cards that I put back. Then they mill Fenrir, Rhino, Scream, and at this point they just lose Scream 1, Kaleido 2, special by dumping Solic. They search out Meta Noise, which I'm not sure why they're playing, and then Solic 1, Kaleido 2, spin back Tear Cash, and then they admit defeat. So on to the next game now. We will go ahead and see the opponents start. Opening hands, I have Solic, Walls of the Imperial Tomb, Fua, Foolish Burial Goods, and Terraforming. They have Imseti, Trivi Karma, Tear Cash, Mali, and Trivi Karma. Okay, so they go main phase, and then activate Imseti, discard itself, plus the Trivi Karma, grab out King Sark, and then draw into Medora. I thought about chaining Fua, but like, I know that they don't play outs. I know that they don't play outs to this card. If they play an out, it's probably just one called by. So I'll just like let them attempt to play into this, and then I'll drop my Fua. King Sark, discard Mali, summon out the Imseti, and then Trivi Karma, grab out Planet, and then activate Planet, grab out Sharon, okay, and then activate Sharon effect, summon by pitching the Tear Cash, mill 3, which also is like, I don't like how they started this turn either. I feel like I'd rather just like summon, Zombie Vampire. Well, I guess that's weird. Do you even want to make Zombie Vampire once you know it's a mirror? Probably not. Especially because, like, I guess they didn't even see enough of my deck, but I definitely play more payoff mills than they do. And, like, I play more diverse payoff mills than they do. So I have, like, a lot of good cards to mill. Like, an infinite amount of good cards. Like, 20 good cards. Like, literally 20 good cards. And then they mill Engraver, Pressured Planet. Go ahead, search out Solic. And now, summon out Happy. Summon out Imseti. I drop Fua. They said you put Fua in 60 and you also drew it. And I said, yurt. I did indeed draw it. I only side for the good decks. Lots of good cards in this duel. Yeah, like, look at this, bro. Look how many good cards are on this side of the table right now. Like, there's just so many good cards. Like, how are you supposed to beat a deck like this if you don't draw a good card? Like, well, obviously, I'm drawing good cards. My entire deck is just 60 good cards. But you need to draw even better cards to be able to beat, like, such a masterpiece of a deck. Like, look at this. Look at this, man. Like, this looks so crazy. Like, how are you supposed to stop this with an Imperm? You don't. You literally have to hit them with a crazy hand trap, or you're not stopping them. Like, I played through, like, triple Imperm yesterday. It was like triple Imperm Ash or something like that. And I was still comboing. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, if you just, like, mill cards that say plus, the opponent just can't stop you. So, they go ahead, set Trivi Karma, set Solic, pass, draw Rhino. I know one's Solic. The other one, I don't know if it's Meta Noise. Or if it's Black Goat Laughs. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not even thinking about it being like a bluff Trivi Karma. Activate Foolish Burial Goods, dump Rainbow Bridge effect. Go ahead, grab out the Pressured Planet, grab out Turtle, and then I can go activate Pressured Planet, grab out Fenrir, summon Fenrir effect goes search, and then they Solic that, sending Sharon, and then they don't activate Sharon effect here, which I'm just like, yeah, don't activate Sharon effect there, because that either means, one, they want to keep Mali in grave, which, sure, fine. If I pass turn, I probably lose, unless I set up a crazy board. Or two, they don't play Mud Dragon. And if they don't play Mud Dragon, then either way, I just get to keep a free body here. Like, I'm happy with that. Like, sure, I get to keep a free body. Activate Walls in the Imperial Tomb. But then on this activation, this is why they probably kept the Sharon engrave, is because on activation, they're just going to go Medora, put back Sharon, and then Planet Pop. So they set thing on activation, and then they activate Medora effect. I said, okay, and then, I just go ahead and put my Walls of the Imperial Tomb engrave, because that's what they're trying to set up. Technically, if you were in tournament, you wouldn't want to put this engrave until they actually field spell pop it. But it didn't matter there. Terraforming into Tear Planet, into Sharon, and then I activate Sharon effect, discarding the turtle, which also maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have discarded Rhino, because then I can get Rhino, discard Solic, which gets me Tier Cash, and also Turtle's a good normal. Like, literally just having any normal summon is a good normal summon in this deck. Like, there's a lot of times where it's just like, okay, I need to be able to normal summon to get the extra body here. It doesn't matter what the normal summon does. So, like, Turtle's, like, it's fine. It's fine. But I go ahead, I mill there, and then I mill Scream, Beast, Imseti, and then new Chain Link, Beast, Scream. So I grab out Solic, and then draw into a Lacrima, normal out Rhino, Rhino effect, dump Havness effect, go ahead, put back, and at this point, I'm just like, oh, I could just go for Kaleido Heart, and Kaleido Heart's just game. So I go for it, then I go Planet and Kaleidos, so go ahead, pop, spin, and then battle phase, attempt to attack for game, and at this point, they shouldn't have anything to stop this. Like, it'd have to be like a set droplet that they like weirdly kept in going first. And I was like, okay, sure, if it's droplet, it's droplet. I don't even think I'm like out of this game yet, even if it is droplet. But it's definitely not a great sign for me. But main phase 2, I could still go like Fiendsmith combo and stuff, and try to like play from there. So I go ahead, swing, and then they're put down to 0, and then GG, and then they don't say anything at the end there. But yeah, that is going to be game, and I end up winning the mirror match. I've been having a lot of fun with this deck. I played this deck before the ban list even dropped. I honestly don't think this deck's that bad. Like, you do have to play, like, extremely well in a lot of your games. Like, when you go first, you technically don't even have to play extremely well, because your deck's just going to set up so many interruptions, even if you make mistakes. But, like, there are games where your opponent sets up, like, crazy boards, and you should probably be able to break it if you play correctly, if you sequence your cards nice. Like, you can break the most insane boards. Or, like, also, it wasn't, like, a crazy board, but I played against a Fire King player, and they set up, like, all the Fire King stuff, hand traps, and I was able to just, like, win the game. I didn't OTK him, I don't think, but I ended up, like, milling a Shuffler, which, like, outed follow-up, and it was just, like, it just, like, kept snowballing. I had Fiendsmith stuff set up, so I always had follow-up. But alright, with that being said, that is going to be it for the video. Maybe if you want, I could make, like, a deck list on this video, like, make a deck profile video, just because I do think the deck's really cool. I kind of want to say I want to see more people play it, because I do want to see more people play it, but I do not want to play mirror matches. Like, the mirror match for this is awful. It's literally just, like, pray that you draw Fua, or pray that you draw Grass Looks Greener going second, which you definitely can do. Like, Grass going second is very good. Grass going first in the mirror, horrible. But, with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace, have a nice day, stay safe.